This is a mission team of 2018 that we went to Deep Forest Baptist Church in Savannah. It's actually this side of Savannah. I guess it's a Savannah address, but we ended up with 36 from this group that went, and then we had a group from Alapaha, in which we've been helping down in southern part of Georgia. They came up on Thursday. There was about 7 of them that came up and spent Thursday and Friday with us to help those last 2 days. But just a great trip, and we've got a video that shows a little bit about what the church, the facility, and what we did, and we're going to give our folks a chance to say a few things about this trip and what it meant to them, and then we're going to try to get out of here just as soon as we can tonight. So get in your mind what you're going to say. Let's watch the video and then just share a few things of what we did. Got it. There's no music on the video. Give us a chance just to share. This was a group that went up on Saturday. We had others that came up on Sunday afternoon and on Monday. But this is our trip up. We always stop for a sack lunch on the way down. And these are just a few of our shots that we got that Sunday afternoon, waiting to eat. No, it wasn't Saturday afternoon. Tuesday afternoon. Deep Forest Baptist Church. This was right off of the 4-lane road, industrial area. And they're real, lot of traffic right there. You'll see the building. That's the old facility that's right next door. This is Father's Day. We all had different captions that they voted for us. I was Mr. Fix-It. And that's because I had to do it over and over and over again. But this is a facility here, and you'll see it. Ronnie did an aerial shot, but then he'll pick it up. Right behind, you'll see that one little house there. When he picks up this shot, there's a road right back there that goes a mile long, bless you. It goes a mile long, and you see all of the homes back in there. And that is a lot of construction workers that live in that area, and so that's kind of their target right now. They're a small congregation, about 40, and they are looking to try to minister to that, a lot of Hispanic in that community, and so they're trying to focus, a new focus of ministry toward that area, and so hoping that the facility and getting it finished will be an opportunity to be able to minister in those areas. What we did during the week is we framed out some beams. Those are the beams that we framed out, and a lot of drywall mudding and sanding, and a lot of sweeping, a lot of dust that was stirred up. But I told them that first night, that's an inside joke there, but I thought that first night when I took a shower, I about stopped the drain up. I had so much dust on it. We finished out the stairwell, put ceiling grids and ceiling tiles in, and finished that out. Came back and repainted it because there was some touch-up on the drywall that needed to be done. These are the boys in there using power sander to sand down the walls. They hired a professional drywall finisher that didn't know anything about what he was doing. And he really made a worse mess than he did anywhere in trying to help. And I just put a lot of extra work on it. This is their Family Life Center. This is right below where we were working for the week. The rooms upstairs is all of the rooms that we worked in. And so this is the Family Life Center that we stayed in. And Tuesday evening, we took an opportunity to go out and we went down to the Savannah River Walk Tuesday evening.
Y'all ran out of materials.
Yeah, we ran out of drywall mud and also the framing materials for the windows, and so we had to wait. So that's why we knocked off early on Tuesday. But we framed out windows, we hung drywall, and wrapped the beams with drywall, finishing, sanding, painting, and we did one ceiling in the stairwell, but our plans were to try to get the ceilings done, but we didn't make it that far. But it was a great week. It was a super week. Everybody worked hard, and it was just a wonderful time together.
We did not have.
We didn't have gnats, but we had flies.
And Mitzi did a lot of cleaning on the floor too.
Yes, there was a lot of scraping that went on the floor and getting drywall mud and stuff up for the finished product. Where is Mitzi? All right. Mitzi was our newcomer this year. Now this is a new way of sanding. We have a lot of fun on these trips. But it was a great week. We had a great opportunity to, we had a few folks, a small congregation, some older congregation that were there, and so we didn't have as much interaction, but we had a great time with those that came. And Brother Guy Boyd is the pastor there and doing a fantastic job. He's been there 7 years, and he's doing a great job with the ministry there. And so we want to pray for them that they will continue to reach out into that community and just hear some good reports of what's going to happen and what's going to go on there in that little area called Dean Forest. And they've done a great job with the building and had teams come in, and so they've got a great facility that can be used for the Lord, and they have just done a fantastic job at this point. We want to just pray that God will continue to bless and use them. But we're going to give everybody an opportunity. I think at the end of this, there's a song that Clarence wrote, and it's going to scroll up here. Good morning, Mr. Mission Director. What you got going on? We got time for one more job, and we're going home. We've been working all week long in this big old church. God is blessed in many ways, for He has the best. Good morning, Mr. Mission Director. Are you all loaded up for today? the day that we're going home. So, it was a great trip, and I want to give these folks an opportunity just to share what, any highlights or anything that meant something to you. And if you got anything you'd like to share, just let me know. And who wants the microphone first? Thank you, Mitzi. Now, I was going to say about Mitzi before she says anything. Mitzi was our newcomer. And I've got a picture, and I wish I'd have thought to give it to Ronnie to put it up on the slides, but this lady can squat all the way down and screw drywalls in at the bottom of the drywall and then stand back up. I told her, if I ever got down like that, I'm never would get back up. No, there you go. All right, Mitzi.
Demonstration.
That hurts just watching.
Well, this is going to be probably short and sweet, I have one word, and this is for Amy. Indeed. I had a great time. Indeed. I say indeed a lot, so she kind of called me out on that, but it was a great time. My very ever first mission trip. So I was very blessed, and it was very rewarding for me. Everybody was so gracious and so helpful, and I just pray that after I left on Thursday, Frank didn't have a whole lot of rework after I got through, because I didn't know a lot of what I was doing. I tried, but anyway, it was a great time, just a great fellowship with these folks and getting to know them better. So, thank you.
Amen.
If I knew what we planned.
You got it.
It's always a good trip. When I get a chance to go, and all my granddaughters went, and my two daughters and son-in-laws had to stay home and work, but it's a good opportunity, because this one right here, I decided I was going to mud sheetrock one day because we'd run out of some material, and everybody was busy doing what they had to do. So I just started putting mud on the walls. Well, here comes this one right here, and she said, "Can I do that?" I said, "You'd love this." I said, "Playing in mud." So anyway, she got a chance to sling some mud on some sheetrock, and it's just, everybody had an opportunity, and these two right here worked, and it's just a blessing to go with your family and to share into something like this, and let them know, and they've always went, and so hopefully, if God bless, and we'll always have an opportunity to go, and this is just special family time. So if you get an opportunity to go one time, you'll be spoiled right.
I'm like William, it was a great trip. Every trip I've ever been on was a great trip, but there were several empty seats this time and you will miss. I just won't go once and know that you usually go, that didn't go, you will miss. Working with Jake and Randy this week, well, everybody on the team, but I spent a couple of days with Jake and Randy as they trimmed out the windows, and they both did an excellent job. It's always a joy to work with these two young men. They're always super polite. You just can't say enough about them, but I told them, I said, we'll get older, one day we're not going to be able to go, and it's going to be up to them to go. And I'm confident they can handle it.
All right, I'd like to say, for all the guidance that all of the men have given me, I appreciate what y'all do for the Lord. And I know you've driven me to work on construction. I just love it every year.
Who else?
Yeah, I really love this trip, and it's a lot different, because usually all the trips I've been on, you always have a lot of interaction with the other congregations, so we didn't get to have that. So all of us together, it was like our church for the week, to me. So I thought we really bonded well, more than we ever have. spent a lot of time together, talking, telling stories. Got my first devotion out, so I'll hold the mic the rest of the night, so. But it was a great trip for me and the family. It's just more involved than we ever have. And it was just great. And for Brian, you know, sorry we spent some of his inheritance, but, you know, I hear we're getting all of it, you know, when TJ passes, so I think we're good. But it was great to have them with us too and just be with them again. And, you know, that's just for what we do. They were there. I mean, that's what it's all about, just getting more and more people involved. And boy, it was great. I really enjoyed this one.
Who else?
I'll come to you. The congregation we were with loved the church. I've got one request. Could you please work with the shopping center down the street that has the exact same sign that you guys have? I turned in there way too many times. The second thing I learned is you got to get Frank to do his Bible study from Wednesday night, because I learned that water and electricity will mix. So pressure's on you now, so have fun.
All right, anyone else?
I was in the same boat with William. My comfort zone is my little comfort zone, and I usually don't step out of it very often. But I did, and I did a devotional on Friday, and it meant so much to me because I got to get even closer with this mission family. But my thing right now, like with what Jake was saying a while ago, is I cannot thank the guys on this trip. I mean, I'll never be able to thank them enough for what they do for Jake and Randy. And speaking just for my child, they have just taught him so much. I've seen him grow so much in the years that we've gone on these mission trips. Not just grow physically, but grow spiritually, and they just learned so much. I mean, Randy's now wanting to go into civil engineering so that he can do this work even more. And that means a lot to me. But I've just watched both Jake and Randy grow into just two awesome young men. And I owe these guys up here a lot of that.
We do work quite a bit, and but there's a lot of fun that goes on too. Even in the jobs that we get to do, there's fun and there's learning. I told you several years ago that without Frank, I wouldn't know near what I know, because I've learned things from him. And as a brother, that means a lot. When I can depend on him and to just say, hey, show me how to do this. And he does. And it's just a joy. If you've never been, you need to try it, like he said, one time, because you're going to get hooked. And it may be where you can't go because of jobs or something else. But if you go, you're going to have fun. You don't even have to work. You don't have to do the manual stuff. But you can sit around and fellowship and talk. After we get through in the afternoon, there's 5 or 6 hours we get to talk to each other and play games, and you learn some things about these folks that go that you never will learn here at this church, I promise you. But the fellowship and spending a week together, it cost my family $60 to go. And we ate like kings and queens. Cindy is in charge of that, and I can tell you that I gained 8 pounds last week myself. So now I have to get back on a diet. But the privilege it is to go and just to see things that you do. When you leave, you say, you know, I did that. I was a part of that. Now, that church is so much further along today than they were last Sunday. And the man that had messed everything up, we had to fix his messes before we could actually see things start. But I thank you for letting us go, because you were a part. Every bottle of water that we drank was from y'all that were back here. You helped us to go. And but make your plans to go, and I promise you, you will be stuck on it.
I don't usually do this, but I have had a couple of things I was going to say if I had the opportunity. And one, Clarence has already said that we talked one night about one day we're going to be too old to go and not able to go. Someday Frank might get too old and can't go, but I think he'll go till the Lord calls him home. But somebody's got to take charge. And, you know, I just called Randy and Jake out. I just said, you know, y'all are learning, it's going to be you. Y'all going to have to take charge. The other thing I wanted to say, Ronnie and I had not been in several years until last year. And I don't really know exactly why. I had to work a few summers and things like that. But Haley decided she wanted to take Nelson and let him grow up going on these mission trips, because it's always been a family mission trip. And so she went without us 2 years ago because we were already out of town, had plans, but she and Katie rode together, and she took Nelson with her. He had his second birthday on the mission trip. And then after that, I told her, I said, if you want to go and take Nelson, then we'll go and help you with it. Because she likes to do the construction, and it's hard for her to do that and take care of him. So I told her I'd go and work in the kitchen and take care of him as I could. But, you know, we're grateful. We had a wonderful trip last year, and Nelson loves it. And so we hope that he'll grow up and love missions from the exposure that he's getting. And last year he had his third birthday on the mission trip, and this year he had his fourth birthday. So he spent the last 3 years on his birthday on mission trip. So we're just grateful that she kind of got us back to go.
There's been a lot of talk about how much we appreciate the men on this trip and about how the young guys can look up to them, and I 100% agree. But I also say the same thing for the women that are on this trip, the ones that are in the kitchen. You know, Frank will get us up. We set our alarms for 5:45, and we are up at 6 upstairs working. But so are the ladies in the kitchen getting breakfast ready. And as soon as breakfast is done and they clean up, they may sit down for 5 minutes and they're back up getting ready for lunch. But they have got a servant's heart too. And they show us, even though like me and Julie, we like to, and Minzy, Haley, all of us, we like to work upstairs in the construction, but they also show us how to serve, you know, in a different direction. And so I appreciate all these ladies and how they've treated me and how they've treated Skyland. All these years, y'all just loved us, you know, never shunned, never turned away. Y'all just loved us, and that's why I love to go, because y'all are family. And that's what happens whenever you go. You form a bond, and it never is broken. They always will take you in. And so I, like everybody said, go. Even for the young girls. You know, if you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, go, I promise. Because like he said, like Frank said, like we went, some of our Lavaha friends came, and even some of the people that we met at this church, you form relationships, and it's relationships you're never going to forget. And so just give it a chance. If you're second guessing it, just jump in next year and just go. You won't regret it.
And I would like to mention too, one thing about Dean Forest. They're planning on going on a mission trip. I think the third week of July, they are, third week of July, that they're planning on going to another church to help them build. And so they've got a missions heart too. They want to, they have received a lot from many churches that have helped, but they also want to give back themselves. And so that's just a joy to see them involved in that. One young man that I met, the very first night that we got there, that Saturday night, they had supper for us. And Lee was sitting there. Lee's in a wheelchair, and he's had some problems, some health issues that had come on that has put him in that wheelchair. And Lee would come by in the evenings and play games, play cards and whatever that evening. And he would come and sit there and just enjoy the fellowship that we had with him. And I had an opportunity one night to go over and talk to him, find out a little about him. But I made it a point that first night is to learn at least one person's name, because I'm bad on names. And Lee stuck with me, and so created a bond there with him that is very special. And so just pray for him and their ministry there. Anyone else?
One of the things we talked about is the different jobs that is the main thing that we do that's on mission trip. The cooking, the construction part of it. We had 8 children from 3 months to 4 months to how old Riley is. I guess she was oldest, 12. So we had 8 children in that age range. We went from 4 months to my mom, who's 81. There's something for everybody to do. You don't have to work. Frank says they put in 8 or 9 hours a day. They get up really early, and then that way we have a little bit of afternoon, evening time that we can share together. There was rocking a baby. There was playing with the kids. There was even the little kids took water upstairs. Blake and Steve Rowe went, and Blake rigged this 5-gallon bucket with a rope because they were working upstairs, and so he would load it up with the Gatorades and the water, and then he'd pull it up to the top and take it and put it in the ice chest. The girls, when he left, and they helped with that. They were bringing dust down constantly. Leah was the main broom sweeper, getting the dust up. So there's things, all kind of things that can be done. But then, like Frank mentioned with Lee, we met Megan, we met several other of the ladies that just sitting down and talking with them and sharing your heart, sharing your story, listening to their stories, opens the opportunity for us to be able to share and minister in ways that really is what God wants us to do. He wants us to invest in the lives that come before us. And so whether it's, we were able to share in the grocery store, you know, when we go to the grocery store, we're sort of a sight usually because we're buying so much. And so as we were checking out, I asked for the little savings card at this small store. And so I said, we're here for a week on mission trip. Her eyes just lit up, this young lady. And she said, where are y'all at? Where are you coming from? And so I told her, and she said, well, I thought maybe you might be with World Changers. World Changers was, excuse me, was at their church. But it opened up the opportunity. It was a connection. And, you know, so you just never know who the Lord's going to put in front of you. And you may go on a mission trip, and that may be the only thing you do is to be able to share with those that you come in contact with. So there's something for all of us to do. God just wants us to be a willing vessel and a willing heart. And then He's going to open the doors up for us. So I, again, with everybody else, encourage you that if you've ever thought about it, or just maybe just a little bit, that you step out and you, like Sven said, get out of your comfort zone. And the bottom line, you're serving the Lord. It's not about anything about us. It's not anything about Dean Forest. It's about God's kingdom. And that's what He wants us to do. And so I want to thank the crew that we have. We did 3 meals a day, and that's hard. Concrete floor, just coming up to the meals and desserts. I'm not a dessert person, so I didn't gain much weight. I didn't gain much weight. But so So anyway, I just encourage y'all, and the last thing, I thank y'all so much because you are a church that's mission-minded. You give your finances, you support us with your prayers. We love y'all so much, and we just thank you for making it available to where we can go for $30 or $60 because God provides the rest.
And speaking of the prayer, we feel your prayers. We thank you for your prayers. And we're always praying for traveling grace and hedge of protection about us. Well, I'd like to say we never know what kind of hedge God's got around us to keep us from being safe, staying out of accidents. Well, coming home Saturday, William Davis witnessed that firsthand. He got to see the hedge of protection of God as he seen an oncoming accident, and God cleared it around him. So we appreciate y'all's prayers. Thank y'all.
I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget or mess it up, but I thought about what does missions mean to me, and I said it's an important intentional assignment or calling to carry out, to go and share the Word of God through love, actions, finances, prayer, and dedication to make a positive difference in someone's life or situation. And we kind of have a motto that I've heard say over and over again that we like to leave a place better than we found it because of God's love, you know, to make our mark. And it's just great to be a part of that. And then I thought of this Bible verse, Psalms 96:3. It says, declare the glory among the nations, his marvelous deeds among all the people. And like Jason said, Frank did like about a little illustration of being salt and the light of the world, and from Matthew 5:16. It's just like, don't hide your light under a bushel or a bowl, but put it in a window so everyone can see. So let our light shine before others that they may see the good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I look forward to it every year. And it really blesses my life and my family. And we are a family. A mission team is a family. And it's just, you learn things about people that you didn't know, like Mitzi. You know, I see her every week in church, but I didn't know anything about her until I got to know. And so you have to be intentional just with the people here as well as with the people that you meet. And I made a special friend. Hello, Megan, if you're listening. It's just, it's really a blessing. And I appreciate your donations that we're able to go.
Shane?
Well, I just want to continue off on what Ronnie said. Even though it sounds like hard work, we do have a lot of fun, whether it's working or we're doing for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We always have time to fun or catch up with a few friends. And like Jason's telling stories during lunch or dinner, they're pretty funny. You got to listen to them. Also saying, because it is a lot of fun. I thought when I first started in Jenna, I thought it'd be hard work, but knowing you guys, I got to know you guys pretty well. And it's not hard work at all. I find it pretty fun. And I think it was it the last day? The last day everybody was playing board games and card games late at night. And how long did we stay up all night? Yeah, about 11:30. So also I want to point out that if you want to join a mission trip, do join. Also, Larry and Barbara, we missed you. We hope you come again. Same thing with Billy and Ella. I know you had some back problems, but I heard you're better now, so
Ready to go?
yeah, I hope you come because we missed you both. And also, hey, why not, Pastor Joe? Why not join us? And Pete, yeah, where is he? So I would encourage you to come because it may sound like hard work, but bonding we do and just getting to know each other in the Lord, it's a lot of fun. So I just encourage any one of you, whether you're young or old, just give it a try.
Amen. You know what a joy it is to see a lot of these that young, shy, don't have a whole lot to say, and how they speak out now, and the boldness that has come, and just to see them grow. And so many of these have talked about being a family, and we are, because we do get to know each other a whole lot better than just spending an hour or so, on Sunday with each other. And it's just a joy. We told Mitzi that we're going to treat her so many ways, she's bound to like one of them. So, and she was just totally a blessing to me. She worked with me the first 3 days, and right beside me, and she just did a wonderful job. And so it's wonderful to get to know folks that you know, and you know them by name, and you speak to them, but you don't really know them until you spend a week with them, and you really get to know the folks. So it's just a joy. We do have a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but it's all for the glory of God. And so thank you as a church family, because we couldn't take, the expense that we do is $30 a person or $60 a family, and that's a family of 2 or a family of 6. And the reason that we can do it at such a small price is because of you. We put the list out, and y'all bring food that we don't have to purchase. Y'all bring drinks that we don't have to purchase. So y'all are a tremendous help in seeing these trips be accomplished. And so thank you for what all you do, and especially, like Clarence said, your prayers. Your prayers are important in our traveling grace and in the experiences that we have there. And it's just a joy to be a part of a church family that we have at North Highlands. And you don't know how many times I share that with other congregations and other churches that we go to. I brag on North Highlands so much because of the heart that we have experienced. I came in '99 here at the church, and it has just been an ultimate blessing to be a part of you. And so it's just a joy to be called a North Highlander, whatever you want to call us. But thank y'all so much for what you do and making this possible and giving people the opportunity. It would be hard to take a large family on a trip if the expense was great, but we try to open it up. Even if you can't cover the costs, there's somebody that's going to cover your costs. So don't let finances ever be a problem in coming and being a part of this trip. We just want you to experience the love and joy that we experience when we go. And we do it for one reason and one reason only. That's to glorify Jesus Christ and to reach that community. And that's the only reason that we go.